For whatever reason, I don't have the start of this film. To measure for the drawer, I took the outside measurement from here to here, and then the inside measurement from here to here. And where the difference is where I cut out for the base to go in. So let's get on with the film. I've had to set this up on the floor. Not exactly a safe place, but I can't pull everything out. I'm just going to wind the blade up. At least I think this is how you wind the blade up. There we go. It's coming up slowly. This is why I put it on the floor. It won't fall anywhere. It's not plugged in, so I'm not going to worry about that. But anyway, from the inside of this blade here, which is just coming through now, to where the guard is going to go. So I'm going to pull just that. Oops, a daisy. This is so annoying. There we go. I'm sure that's probably it. Apparently that slides on. So let's start again. The guard here to there going to be 4 2/16. So I'm going to pull that in tight and lock it in. And I'll pull this up a little bit higher because it's got to go through an inch of wood first. Pop that up like this. It's risen up. I've got this so that I can push the wood through right at the end. I'm going to be cutting an 8-foot length all in one go. Now all it is a case of turning the machine on and guiding this through evenly. Now the inside depth of the drawer is 3 inches and 6/16. So I'm going to just pop that on there, which will give me the groove that I need to go through. Now the height of this has to be 1/4 of an inch. So it looks like it comes to the bottom of this groove here. So I'm going to just lower that. I think that's probably about, see it's switched off at the main. See that comes to there. And with a bit of luck, that gives me 1/4 of an inch height. Let's have a look, see. It's about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to put this back on. Hopefully the groove will go all the way along the end of this wood, and then I'll cut it into the lengths that I need it. If it all starts off the same, it should all slot in. I've run one groove. I'm going to have to put a second one through to make it as close to 1/4 of an inch as possible. I think that's even. So I'll just line this up and move it over just a little further. Maybe a 1/16 should do it. And I will run this through again, and it should, with a bit of luck, make it wide enough. If not, I'll have to run it through another time just to make this groove wide enough for the base of the drawer to go in. I have the drawer front, so I'm going to measure this. This is 18 inches wide. I have to make allowances for the drawer slides to go in. The width of the hole for the drawer is actually 18 inches. So I'm going to just do backward maths for this one. I'm going to measure the width from inside here to the outside of the rails that I'm going to use and remove that from the overall measurement, which is 1/2 inch. So I've got 2 of them, which then makes the total width of the drawers 17 inches. So I'm going to mark that. I'm going to use this saw to cut those 2 for me. I'm going to line the mark on this side of the edge of the blade so that I know that it's exactly 17 inches. And then I'll cut the second one. And whatever left should give me the length of the drawers. This is the back and there's the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on here and line the outside of the drawer up together and mark down on here. And that is going to be where I'm going to start cutting out these so that I can inset the sides slightly, probably to about 1/4 of an inch, and it should hold it fast. I've just altered the width of that to accommodate that, and I'm going to do it on all 4 pieces. It's not quite on my mark, so I'm going to have to move it slightly. And this is my first foray into building things. Now I've cut all 4. I'm going to cut the height out. So that's another little bit that I've got to work out. That looks about right. But then it's making sure that the height of this is actually high enough. I might have to work this out a couple of times. Like I did here, I had to go through a few times. So I'm just going to do the same and hopefully get that little corner cut out. I've just got to make it just a wee bit taller and that will come out nicely. This is the first time I've done anything like this, so I'm a little bit new. I just want to show you that you can do things too. At the moment there's not much room in my kitchen for anything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this from the inside to the inside is 15.5 inches. So I'm going to cut the base to go in at 16, and then for the length that's 20, so I'm going to cut it at 20.5. I think that's where I want it. I can always cut it shorter if it's not quite where it's meant to be. So actually I need to cut it 20 because I think I've got to cut these down just a little bit. Maybe not. I'm really not sure. I'm flummoxed at the moment. I'm going to cut them at 20 and see where I need to be. I'm going to see if I can get this to work. First of all, I'm going to put some glue in this groove, like this, and a little strip on either side of here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is put the base in. It should hold. Oh, maybe it won't hold. And put a couple of things there for it to lean up against. And I'm going to do the same along here. I'm just going to put a bit of glue along this groove. This is one of the sides. I'm going to pop that into place. Make sure that's even on the outside. Do the same on the other side. As I say, this is the first drawer I've ever made, so I am intrigued as to how well it's going to turn out. Unfortunately, I don't have any clamps that will fit this size. It seems to be holding, and it's level on the outside, which is most important. And then the top here, I'm going to do the same as the front. I'm going to put some glue along there and on each end. Hopefully everything will line up. I say hopefully because this is not my forte. I have a speed square here which will keep it square for me. And while I'm waiting for this to dry, what I'm going to do, along the top I'm just going to nail this into position, making sure that the outside of the drawer is level with each other. So let's do that. I'm going to do the same with this side. Maybe I need some more glue in there. Unfortunately, I cut this back a little bit too much, so I'm just going to nail this side in, and that's square on here, which is the most important part. I'm pleased with that, and then I'm going to turn it up the other side, put the speed square back in, just to make sure everything's where it should be. So for my first drawer, I don't think I did too bad. There's room for improvement. I think I need to put more glue at the tops here, so again, it wasn't very well done. It's really important to get these edges straight. Now wiggle this last side in, and I'll put some more glue in there too. At the moment it's still holding true, so I'm really pleased about that. I think this piece is a little bit wonky, but anyway, I'm going to pull it and push it and force it in as best I can. Here we go. I'm going to pull this down as well as I can. Still keeping square, so I'm really pleased about that. I'm going to pull it out with my fingers and pull it down and out. I'm thinking that'd be straight enough. At the moment it's still square on, which is the most important part of this project. Let's say this is the first drawer I have ever made. It's square. It's really a box, and then I've got the drawer front to put on. So I'm going to just wait for this to dry a little bit more. It kind of rocks a little bit, so all I'm going to do, probably shouldn't do this, put a little bit of pressure on either side, on the opposite sides where it's rocking. It seems stable, so that's good. I determined that the face that's the flattest or most at a 90-degree angle is actually this one. I had hoped it would be this one. I need to measure out where I'm going to put the handles. So the easiest way of doing that is I'm going to measure out the center point on here, which is 17 inches, is 8.5. So holding that, the speed square along the top, I'm just going to do my mark down, and I've taken the measurement off the other ones, and they are just shy of 1.5 inches, so about 16. I think that's straight. Actually, I'm going to make it 1.5. So there's 1.5 there and 1.5 there. So I'm going to use this and draw a line. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can do it this way. Swap that in there. Maybe I can't do it that way. Would have been really good if I could. Oh, actually, you know what? I can. I'm just going to do that. It's a little bit shy, but it's probably more or less where I need it to be. And then I know the handles are 3 inches wide, so I'm going to measure 1.5 that way, and then I'm going to measure 1.5 this way, which makes 3. There's my cross section. If I put that on there and measure on that one to 3, that should be my mark, and that should be the other mark. So let me check with one of the handles to make sure that is correct. Perfect. So in a minute I'm going to drill 2 holes straight through for my handles, and then I'll paint it up. I'll know where everything goes. Just make sure that the drill bit you're using is the same size as the screw you want to be putting in, and I think that's about right size. Put that in. Now usually I put tape round if I only want to drill so far, but in this case I really don't care, so I'm just going to go straight ahead and drill. I think that's level. See whether I can match it up now. If I have to alter it, they'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to have to put bigger holes in, but that's okay. I know where they're going to go. Probably don't have a drill bit for that size, so I've got my start points and that's all I'm going to worry about. Now for the painting. These are slightly longer than the drawer I made, but that's okay. And I'm just going to put that so it's level with the front. I'm going to put my finger there, and that should be okay there. I'm going to install 3 screws, one there. I'm just going to push them in to start off with, and then screw them tightly in. I would usually use the impact to do this. I don't want to over tighten it. It should be more or less smooth with the metal plate. Push it on one side, repeat on the other. That should hold it. Before I do anything else, I'm going to attach the brackets that go at the back of the cupboard onto each of these. Hopefully it'll make life a lot easier. Now it says to install the base of the bracket 1/16 above the edge of the drawer. So I'm going to pop that there and bring it level with the front. Oh, this is going to be difficult because it keeps slipping. Peter?
Yeah?
Can you come here please, honey? I need you to hold this.
How do I hold?
Just hold this here and don't let it slip down.
Mom, you're pushing.
I know I'm pushing. And hopefully we can get at least one of these into place. I will put 2 screws in to hold it eventually, but just one will be good to start off. They are so fiddly. The screws are so small. That'll do for now, and I'll get the other one on the other side. We're going to have to hold the other side too. Huh?
You want me to just get in there?
No, just hold it from the outside. Lean across. That's it. Now I've slid the drawer into place, which has actually brought the runners at the back up, and I've got a level here which I'm going to use. Hopefully manage to get all of this in place without too much trouble. Now I'm stretching out the brackets here, and so long as these brackets are straight, the bubble is in between the 2 lines. As I say, I've really never done this before, so I'm a little bit out of my depth, but I'm going to push that one there so that this side is straight. Peter, do you have a pencil? And when I'm happy with where the bubble is on there, I'm actually going to mark where I'm going to put the screws on this side. I'm going to take this out and screw one side, and then I'll screw the other side in. Oh gosh, if I do that, that moves it as well. So I'm thinking I'll do this side first and then the other one. And only because I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. I have to get this done because tomorrow the granite goes in. Oh dear, what's going on here? Why won't that work? Okay, this does not look good. I'm going to try something else as well. I'm going to measure from the inside of the cabinet to the edge of here, which is just over 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to see whether I can measure it out from the inside there as well to make sure it's all level. I decided this is so awkward for me to do. I have to drill pilot holes and goodness only knows what. But I know that the top has to be in line with the... Peter?
Yeah?
Can you come here please, hon?
I'm going to do it.
You have to hold this like that so I can see where I'm going. And I have to sit down here like this.
Mom, you just pushed it up.
Yeah, I know. Can you move it forward a little bit towards me?
A little bit more.
I haven't got my pilot holes. I'm going to put the screws in and adjust where they need to go in a second. I've got those 2 in, and because it might shift, I'm going to just put one more in. I get neurotic sometimes about what I've done. Yeah, that should not come out. That seems to go up. I hope I've got it in the right place. After all, the drawer being central is the most important part. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, it's flat across. So I'm just going to mark for this side when it's all the way back and then put the screws in. I'm just going to put a mark here and round like that. Yeah, that needs to go down just a wee bit to there. Who knew this was going to be so difficult? And I'm going to do exactly the same. Put 2 pilot holes where I think it is. That's what I need to drill. I'm just going to put one in the top and then make it level. Put this one in too. Now I'm going to put the 3rd one in to hold it exactly where I want it. I know it doesn't say, but I'm going to put a second one here because this one's gone funky, which might be why it doesn't want to run. I'm going to undo both of these and reposition them now that I've got them where I want them. And I'll do the same here too. I don't think I need to, but I'm just going to anyway. This is when I wish I was ambidextrous because I'm just making such a mess. Hopefully this will work. Perfect. How exciting is that? My first drawer that's been installed. I have now got to put the front of the drawer face on, and I'm going to rest these two items on here just to bring the drawer front up a little bit. So I'm going to rest the drawer front on top like that. The other thing to remember to do, I'm going to put these screws in, one either side to hold the drawer face on. So whilst this is in position, I'm going to do that, holding all three pieces together. And then just to make sure the other side is correct, I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So not only have we got this in line, we've now got the drawer in line too. Thank you for joining me with this film. It's taken me a little while to edit this. I was really nervous about putting it out. As you can see, the handle's on there. The drawer still works, which is even better after 2 years. I'm actually proud of this. So excited and proud of what I managed to accomplish, because this I was way out of depth on this particular project. Please subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to see more from me. I will actually be posting the rest of my kitchen. This year is making cupboard doors, which is going to be putting me back out of my depth, but I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge, and I hope whoever's watching this is up for the challenge as well. You can do it. You really can do it. In the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao. Oh, God. Why is this stuff so fucking hard for me? Just hang on a sec. Here we go. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, it helps if it goes the right way. Oopsie. Oh! I keep losing things. Oh gosh. Who knew putting a drawer in would be so difficult? Oh, woohoo! Exciting.